Hi, so now I'd like to take you through what we call our monthly lubrication. So you have your cheat sheet on the monthly lubrication. So what it is just once a month we have it set up so we do a few special preventative maintenance features. And that is, first thing we are going to do is we're going to remove all the canisters for the dry products and clean in behind. Like our weekly cleanings, we're going to remove the bowls and the lines and clean those. We'll remove the brewer and clean that, and the trays and the lines. And so we do, it's a regular cleaning, but what we're going to do is some special. So we're also going to remove our exhaust trays and clean inside of those and clean those exhaust trays. We're going to remove the whipper heads and clean in behind that. The brewer will come off and we'll do a deep clean on that, and plus we'll lubricate it. We'll remove the piston head completely and then take that out and do a deep clean and lubricate that. And there'll be a separate video just on about how to lubricate those two items. So then it's just basically a very deep clean. So you can use your discretion if there's extra stuff that needs to be done, and the base needs to be cleaned up if there's some coffee grinds that are laying around down there. So that's a great time for doing that. So basically with our weekly cleanings, so when we arrive, I've closed the canisters here because we're going to take them out. Typically they'd be open when you arrive. So basically when you arrive, you're doing the same thing. You're using your hand or a dry finger or a paper towel to clean any of the dry product that's sitting in the chutes and you want it all going down in the bowl. And then, as we do every week, we're taking a couple of stir sticks and just moving any product that's sitting in the very front into the back on each one of these. So any product that's sitting in the front of your canisters, you want to just move it in the back each week. And so what we're going to do is quickly remove these. So I'm going to just take them out of the way and put them on a counter. So the key thing there is when you take those out, just put them in a counter, but line them up so they will support each other so they won't tip over, because it makes a huge mess. So basically I'm going to leave these all in place because I'm going to start my cleaning process, because I want to clean from the top down and get all the powders and any coffee beans that are stuck in the back here. We want to just get those all completely cleaned out and doing a nice clean. Leave your bowls in so any product that's there can drop down in. So we're going to remove our exhaust trays, put those there. And that way, when you pull them out that way, any product just goes into your bowls. So we're going to remove the top rings of each one. And then we're going to start removing the bowls. Just use your thumb, push up slightly, just nice and easy. And slide off. That way we don't disturb the water spigot coming out to the back. So that is done. We are also going to, now that we got those out, gives us a little more room, we're going to take our brush that's bent at 90 degrees, and we're going to go in the back, and that back exhaust hole, port hole, we're just going to do get that straw brush down inside in the back and just dislodge anything that's sitting there in that hole. Okay, so that's complete. Now we're just going to remove our spigots, from the spigot holder, and then that will be That's the only one. We don't need to take the hot water line out. So we're just going to remove our, and all the product just fell down inside. So that's perfect because that's just product that came out of the bowl, went down inside of your mixing bowl. So it makes it nice and clean for your cleanup. So we're just going to remove that one. And remove that one. So for simplicity here, I'm going to remove the tray. I'm going to take this to the sink. This is just a regular cleaning. So we just wash all these stuff and bring it back after you got it clean. Just going to hold it there, the drip tray. So bring it back. Okay, so then we're back. We'll take this for cleaning. We'll remove the brewer. We'll put the guard up on the top because that doesn't need to be cleaned. So we'll clean our coffee chute and that type of thing. So I'll take that. We'll take the brewer. So I'm going to take that to the sink so that can be cleaned also. We're going to remove the piston head, so just remember this is very hot. I like to keep a rag on it here. And since we've already cleaned up in top, I'm going to put the spring up here so it does not get left behind. So that's the key thing. Anytime you're removing anything here that's not being washed, always put it up here. So when you're leaving at the end of the day and you're going like, why is the spring up there? Why is the clip up there? Or why is the washer up there? Then you can realize, oh, that's because I forgot to put it back in, versus leaving it at a sink. So now we've removed everything from here. So as I said, it is a deep clean. We don't remove the coffee canister. We leave that in place, but we clean everything around, any beans over the week or the month that you've been since your last cleaning. You are just cleaning all this up. So what we want to look at doing is getting in here and cleaning inside of the exhaust tray manifold area. So you want to get, you'll get like a stalagmite, the building up here. So, and it feels rough and dirty. So what you want to do is make sure you get that out. And it should be as smooth as the top of your plate there. So just your bare finger in and go through, see if there's any product. So there's still some product in there, so I'm going to go back in again. If your fingers are rather large, you can use something to put around your screwdriver or a pair of scissors around your cloth. But be very careful if you're putting something in there, because this is just thin plastic. If you push too hard, it will break this manifold. So we're working our way down. So that's the important part. Always work from the top and work down, because then all your dirt is falling down to this plate here once, and you only have to clean it once. Okay, so we've got that. There's nothing you need to do. This is the front part of your main boiler. Your piston head goes up in there. This hole here is where the water wand off your brewer goes up. And so when it's brewing, it inserts itself and the water comes down through here into your brewer. So what we like to do is when we have that off once a month, take a couple stir sticks and your cloth and sure I'm here and put it up and just turn it around and see if there's any, because there's some of the rubber residue from the O-ring gets left there. So if you do that every month, that stays nice and clean. And that, don't put your finger up in there because it's hot. The other thing we're going to also do here is each month is double check that our screw on our brewer motor is nice and tight, so I just touched that. And I've already done it. Take your pliers and make sure your nuts and bolts that'll hold the brewer in place are nice and secure, because over time the vibration of that can loosen those. Okay, so we've done that part. So now we're going to do this. We're going to remove the O-ring off of the whipper head. So sometimes they're a little tough. So you just take your fingers with a wet cloth, just squeeze it and take those off. You can take those and wash them at the sink or leave them up there and just run the cloth around the inner part of that O-ring. So you may have two kinds of O-rings. The older version, the original versions are orange. The new replacements are all black. So that's why there's a difference there. And we're going to remove our whipper heads. So put a finger up in, hold the motor shaft. There's a little corrugated shaft in there that you can use to hold your finger to keep from turning. So those will go to be cleaned. So we'll take all those off. So they go to, and you gotta be careful, those go to be washed also. Yeah. So there's a stainless steel washer just in front. So I don't take those back to the washing. I wash those here with my rag, but I put them up so we remember to put them back. And so what you have here, you'll have a green or a black gasket. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a rag, we're going to clean in behind. Now, if it is built up and dirty, if you've had a few milk blockages, you may have some product. So be very careful. You can slide it off. Just use your two sticks, slide it off very carefully, put it up there, and then you can get access to the back. Now, you may not have to do this each time because if you're keeping an eye on it, it'll be clean, but today this one is a little dirty, so I'm gonna take that and clean that very thoroughly. So as you can see there, it's nice and clean now. So if that is really dirty or cracked, you may want to replace it, but if it's dirty, you should be able just to clean it up and slide it right back on, and be very careful. They're kind of fragile, so don't rush it or push it on. It wants to be fully back against the back of the on that shaft, all the way back against the back washer wall. So I'm going to do this one. Doesn't need to be complete. Yes, I'm going to take that one off too. And then we'll do the same for this one over here. I don't know. I'm going to bring this in so you can just see what I'm talking about. I think, yeah, so there we go. Hopefully you can see that. So we're going to bring those back and bring those out and take those off. Now we may cut this video and stop it and restart it just to give you, this one is quite dirty, so I'm going to put it right directly in the water. So it's easy to wash. This is where you use your discretion. If you see it's dirty, then it needs to be clean. If it looks nice and clean, then you don't need to do this each month. But if you keep an eye on it, it will be, there we go. And this is just a build up in behind of any product that may be there from over time. So there we go. I'm going to clean my cloth. I'll be right back. a little tight spot. That's why those little, just getting the rag in there. Lots of wet water, wet cloth. We'll take that O-ring off. We'll give that one a clean, and we'll clean the groove where the O-ring sets, because when you're taking them off each week, you can have powders get down in there. So that's cleaned. I'm going to do that one more. This is a good video because you can see if you got one that needs to be cleaned up. This is the perfect time to do it because we're sitting and waiting just for our descale. So we're doing this one. You may be doing some other things, but this is the time to do that. Okay, and so the little stainless steel washers, as I said, just wash those by hand. Don't take them anywhere else. You don't want to lose them. But make sure the stainless steel washers are on there because they are crucial for setting your whipper head so it doesn't set too far back. So it's very important to have those stainless steel washers. If you don't have any, JBC can ship you some new ones, or you can pick them up at Home Depot. But make sure they're stainless steel, not steel, because the steel ones will rust. So we've got that done. So I'm going to replace this. We're not going to show anything about cleaning the bowls because that's simple and straightforward. So put these back on. In the process, these would have been taken to get clean. So I'm going to just do a wipe through here. Clean all this up. Any product that's been laying around there for the past month, you can get it free. I'm going to put that O-ring back on because that is done. That's done. And that's done. There, clean those. So this is what if that is really dirty, that's pretty clean because we just cleaned it last week. But if that's dirty, that should be washed. Now that you got all the spigots out of here, give this a little wipe and clean. And so now, we are ready to put everything back, put the whipper heads on, put the mixing bowls back on, put your exhaust trays back in, and put in your canisters. And then, but also we're not going to show you cleaning the brewer. We'll do that on a separate video. Down in the base, we will remove the drip hose. We'll clean that with a long straw brush. So that's already clean. That's just yellowed from age because it's an old line. Change out our coffee bin, and then we'll wipe up the base if there's anything in the base that needs to be cleaned up. But that's the most important part of your monthly lubrication process. Cleaning everything in the back, get your exhaust trays nice and clean. Dry the exhaust trays before you put them back in. Take the whipper heads off, give those a good wash, clean those. If you find, for example, that there is a lot of product buildup in the grooves, you can use a pair of scissors, or you can use a utility knife and just scrape it out and then just wash it. Yeah. So that's an easy way of cleaning those out and washing on the fronts and the back. Make sure they're nice and clean. And then we'll just continue our rest of our clean that we normally do every week. Clean the doors, clean the outside before you leave, do your drink tests and all that stuff. Okay, that concludes doing a monthly lubrication.